The moment where you decide to bring in a new sales leader, you're handing over the keys to a really important lifeline of the company. And if you get it wrong, you could lose months, if not a year's worth of progress on your most important metric to be growing as a business, which at this point is revenue. Hi, my name is Ben. I'm one of the co-founders and the CEO of Mira. And at Mira, we build incredibly accessible and intuitive and affordable augmented reality hardware and software solutions. I think that if Candidate Labs could work with me on finding a sales leader, I think they can work with just about anyone because of probably how difficult and picky we had to be. I would recommend Candidate Labs over other solutions, especially in cases where you have very important and strategic hires, because Candidate Labs is more than a recruiter, they're more than an agency. They are a thought partner, they're a strategist, they're an advisor, they're a consultant. And they've been through it before. They've placed so many different incredible candidates at so many promising startups that when you're in the position where you have a high stakes hire you need to make, you don't need somebody to go and fill your top of funnel blindly. You need somebody who can really be there next to you, in the seat, guiding you and putting forth strategy to make sure you get the right person in seat, because nothing's more important with a startup than hiring the right person. And Candidate Labs makes you feel that you are working with the right team to go and find that person. Since bringing on a head of sales, we are on track to doubling our ARR in the very first year of his presence here. And we've also grown the team to 3 account executives underneath him and are expecting that to double by the end of the year, as well as build out more functions such as account management and business development that we didn't previously have. So the team has grown in revenue, it's grown in size, and it's even grown in the number of different functions we are managing and accommodating. Every single candidate that Candidate Labs brought us was extremely high quality. And in a lot of other experiences with other agencies or our own processes in the past, it's very simple to have to sift through a lot of different candidates and screen a ton of different resumes and do a lot of busy work just to find the signal within the noise. But the beauty of working with Candidate Labs is that everything they brought us was signal. There was no noise. We were brought the perfect candidates, the ideal candidates, ones who really fit our criteria. Even the back and forth on candidates before they were introduced to us was concise and it was accurate, and it really avoided misstepping or spinning our wheels at any point in the process. It was high quality, highly targeted work at every step along the way. I think the experience we had with Candidate Labs was fundamentally different, and it didn't feel like we had a robotic agency. It felt like we had a very strong partner who was almost sitting in-house with us and looking out in the same direction as us, providing the same foresight that we were trying to provide ourselves with, and really being an expert and an advisor and a consultant just as much as they were being a recruiter. So it called for a really strong process and a really strong recruiting process that really gave us the confidence to know that we were making the right decisions and taking the right steps along the way. We had a number of questions and assumptions about how we were to hire, who the right profile was to hire, and what was unique about Candidate is they had so much experience and objective data to show what has worked well in the past for other companies at a similar stage, hiring for a similar role. And that experience was clearly repurposed and reused to guide better advice and strategy for our particular search. So there was an instance where we thought that our comp needed to be structured in one way, we thought that the profile of the candidate should be another way, and as it turns out, Candidate Labs had a fantastic set of advice and strategy that they put forth based on experiences in the past that allowed us to actually change the profile and the archetype of the candidate we were searching for in a way that greatly benefited the search overall. My impression of Candidate Labs' proprietary technology was a bit mysterious to me. I had never taken the time to actually dive into that technology and understand what it was, but I knew that whatever the tool set they were working with was powerful, it was insightful, it was deep, and it really helped drive the right data-driven approaches to our particular search. So when we put together an assumption or a hypothesis of who was the right candidate, we could back that and cross-examine that with really powerful data from a source that Candidate Labs had that allowed us to continually refine that search. Bringing on this head of sales has impacted my day-to-day in a way that I couldn't ever have foreseen coming into this. I had spent so much time and energy really crafting the initial go-to-market, validating our thesis with customers, designing the initial pricing, and I was so deep in the weeds. And while that's a beautiful thing sometimes for founders to get that deep in the weeds, ultimately it's unscalable. You need to test things out and essentially kind of fire yourself from every single role as the company evolves and learn something enough to hire somebody who can do it much better than you. And I hadn't realized just how much time I was spending in that kind of head of sales box. And when we brought our new head of sales in with Candidate Labs, it sort of freed me up to think about a much longer term horizon and focus on different areas of the company that needed founder attention that were perhaps being neglected because I was spending so much time in this one particular facet of the business. So bringing that head of sales on was a step function change in my productivity and in my foresight that's allowed me to push the company forward, raise a Series A, and start putting together more strategic initiatives on the product side and other facets of the business moving forward that absolutely would not have been possible without bringing on a head of sales and without bringing on the right head of sales, which of course wouldn't have been possible without the help from Candidate Labs.